Welcome to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm your host, Jackie Hermans. Guess what? Does this background look a little bit different? I'm in the Rogers TV studio in Utica. This is very exciting. So yeah, we still have some interviews going on in Zoom, but I'm in the studio. This is feeling more and more like well, it's always has felt like a TV show, but it's feeling super cool now. So welcome to the Utica studio. And we have a great show coming up. So we're going to talk about fire safety with Colin Clark. We'll also have the Humane Society with the furry friends looking for their forever home. And we're going to be finding out more about a very important Whitby Chamber event with Kimberly Black and Rob Tardick will be on the show. Keep watching. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
This program is brought to you by OHL Action Pack. Looking to see tomorrow's stars today? Follow the teams and players you want to watch. OHL Action Pack is part of the Rogers Super Sports Pack.
As the fighting continues in Ukraine, thousands of people are fleeing for their lives, forced to leave everything behind. You can help them. Your donation to the Humanitarian Coalition will provide food, water, shelter, and medical care to the people of Ukraine who urgently need it. Call 1-855-461-2154 or donate online today at together.ca. That's together.ca. The Humanitarian Coalition. Together, saving more lives.
I'm Jonathan Van Bilsen, and I've had the opportunity to spend my life traveling and photographing exotic locales around the world. Thanks to Rogers TV, I'm now able to share my adventures with you on my show, Photos and Travel, right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So I have some really important people on the show today that I'm very excited to introduce you to. So I have Natalie, who is the CEO of the Whitby Chamber of Commerce. And I also have Kimberly Black and Rob Tardick. And we're going to be talking about now. I'll give everyone a little bit of an overview here. Kimberly Black went through a horrific attack in 2020 that left her fighting for her life. And both Kimberly Black and her husband, Rob Tardick, have gone through a huge mental health journey in dealing with the trauma of the situation. And there's a wonderful event that is going to be taking place with the Chamber of Commerce, Whitby Chamber of Commerce, that is has an opportunity to help many people to heal from various traumas that they have been able to experienced, helping people with their mental health. So first of all, welcome everybody. Welcome to the show. So, Kimberly, I'd love to talk to you first about this. Sure. Now, I know you're not going to go into any depth of what you've experienced. I understand that it is in the court system right now, but you want to provide our viewers just a really quick summary with, I guess, your experience.
Sure. One of the things I always did, to relieve stress for exercise was go for walks. Like a lot of women do. We go for walks, we go for runs. And a lot of times I would go for walks alone, like all of us do, right? So one night, early evening in the summer, I went for a walk in my local community. I followed the same route I always walked. Nothing out of the ordinary about this walk. But in the last stretch of my walk, I was attacked. And without going into the details of that attack, what it did was it left me unconscious and missing for 14 hours overnight while I was searched. And when they found me, I ended up needing to go to St. Michael's Hospital, being placed in a coma and on life support. After that, I had reconstructive jaw surgery because my face, I had a broken jaw in 2 places, fractures to my skull, punctured lung, a lot of traumatic physical injuries that were taken care of at St. Michael's Hospital. I was there for about a month and then transferred to a brain rehabilitation center. And I was there for about a month. So for about a 2-month period, July 2020 to September 2020, I was in the hospital recovering from this experience.
Wow. So that experience left you needing to heal physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even just once you heal physically, being able to even go for a walk, everything else, you wouldn't be walking the same, right? Like you wouldn't be experiencing life in the same way after a situation like that.
Yeah, I mean, I often talk to that now when I do public speaking, is that prior to this happening, I never really was worried. I trusted my environment. I was not like paranoid, always looking over my shoulder. I didn't even take my phone with me that time because I wanted to disconnect from technology. So basically what it has done has caused me to establish new habits when I go for walks, like always taking my phone and always letting someone know exactly where I'm going and when to expect me back. But not to live with paranoia, but just to be a little more conscious of my environment now.
Right. Now, with you going through this experience, it affects everyone around you, and especially Rob, it would have affected you. And I can't imagine the emotions that would have come out within you. Not being able to be there, not being able to help, to prevent it from happening, and even having that fear moving forward of what can happen in life. So, and I also want to say, also being a man, dealing with those emotions, men have also been taught in over the centuries that emotions are not okay unless maybe it's anger. Right?
Yeah.
But you would have had a welling up of emotions in so many ways. So what has your experience with this?
Yeah, it's been an incredible experience. It's nothing that you could prepare for in life. No upbringing, however, whatever your narrative in life is, for any basically human being prepares you for something like this to happen. It was such a random act of violence. And the severity of it, it's just at first you're just shocked. You can't even believe this is happening to you. It's like you're watching a movie, you might see a horror movie with something like this happening and you go, oh my God, thank God this never happens to me or anybody. But then, you're faced with that reality, like this is really happening to me. Like, this is crazy what happened to not just me, but I'm talking to Kim, I'm talking to both of us. And it's just shock and disbelief. And yeah, the emotion, I can't even begin to tell you the gamut of emotions that I felt. It was from rage. The first thing you want to do is just hunt this person down. And, instinctually, we have that, raw emotion of anger. And, but you really have to ground yourself in your foundation of your being, what we're going to talk about at this mental health luncheon coming up with the Whitby Chamber of Commerce. You have to be able to really ground yourself in the moment and really make proper decisions in how you're going to react. Because every reaction now is being watched, from the police are interviewing, interrogating you. So, any type of, everything that I say is being recorded and videotaped. So I had to become really, really conscious of my surroundings and really be in the moment. And then balance all those emotions that are going on, that from people, hundreds of phone calls, and then handling her at the hospital, and then the press and me. It's just overwhelming. I can't even begin to tell you what the experience was. Like I said, there's no life experiences. This is not something you're trained for. You just have to. But I firmly believe a lot of the what we're going to talk about, living a life of being well grounded and making good positive choices in your life and how you lead your life can really help you and your partner, in this kind of situation.
Yeah. And being able to move forward, it would be really important for you to deal with all of those emotions that have been brewing and, let's say, would have built up through the whole experience that you were undergoing. In order for you to move forward, you really need to let go. So what a journey the both of you have been on. So I'm so glad you have an opportunity to share that with other people. Natalie, can you tell us more about this event?
Yes, thank you for having us. It is our mental health luncheon. We've been committed at the Whitby Chamber of Commerce to provide mental health insights and to stop and pause and have conversations about mental health. I am thrilled. Kimberly and I spoke in the fall, and we wanted to talk not just about her story, but how important resilience is for everyone. And both of them have shown exceptional resilience. But what would it be like to have that conversation with Rob? So quite often the focus is on Kimberly and what she went through. But to me, every time he struck Kimberly, he was striking Rob. And so when he talks about that rage and the resilience he needs to support Kimberly, the fact that she's going to interview him has such great value to the business community to think about their own resilience. So the event is taking place next Wednesday, April 13th. It is a luncheon at the Deer Creek Golf and Banquet Facility, and tickets are still available on our website at whitbychamber.org.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. It will be a wonderful event. I hope this message can get out to as many people as possible. Everyone who's watching, please make sure you forward this. Life is about resilience, right? And we can have obstacles in every single area of our life, and gaining the tools and the inspiration that both Kimberly and Rob will be able to share with us, I think can be really impactful in us moving forward. So thank you so much. I really, I'm so grateful to have you both on the show and for you spreading your love and inspiration.
Thank you
so much for having us.
Thank you. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Monsieur de Champlain, when I finish paddling through this wilderness and reach China, I shall greet them wearing this.
Monsieur Nicolet, your mission shall be for the honor of the king and the Holy Faith.
In the summer of 1634, Jean Nicolet set off from Quebec to find a trade route that would link Europe and North America with China.
But where is it?
Further. I know the place you are seeking.
For months, Nicolet pushed through the wilderness, searching for the Western Sea.
Goja! Mississippi!
What did he say?
He says, Mississippi, great water.
Mississippi, the sea, China.
Jean Nicolet was wrong. It was Lake Michigan, not the Pacific. But others would follow his dream: Joliet, La Salle, the La Vérendrys, and they would map most of North America from the Rockies to the Gulf of Mexico.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So Colin Clark is with me, and we're talking about fire safety. Colin, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
So I understand that there have been some tragedies within the GTA of people not having, or the cause was not having a working smoke detector. So let's remind everyone about the importance of this.
Yeah, it is so important. And we are, trying to remind people in the springtime when you're doing your spring cleaning and getting the house cleaned in the yard and all that to think about smoke alarms, because these tragedies are so preventable. They're very concerning, and it's so easy to forget and be complacent with smoke alarms. but it's just as easy to be reminded and go and check yours and make sure they're working. It could save your life and it could save the lives of your family.
Something that is, yeah, it's very simple to do. You know, whether you just need to change your batteries, you need to change your system out. And this is the reminder that if you had disconnected it because it was going off from cooking, get it connected again. It really should be your priority. Everything else can so easily take priority, but this is yours and your family's life.
Yeah, and if you are having issues with your smoke alarms or your carbon monoxide alarms, give the fire department, your local fire department, a call, and we're going to work with you and make sure that we get you compliant and safe.
Okay, excellent. Now, with the springtime also comes barbecuing or outdoor fires in a fire pit. So what would you like to share about that today?
Well, it is a wonderful time of year. I thoroughly enjoy getting the barbecue going a little bit more in the spring and into the summer. It's a great time to clean your barbecue. If you're setting it up for the first time in the year, make sure you set it up away from the house and make sure that you clean out the drip trays from grease so you don't have a grease fire, and just check for leaks in your propane tank and the propane line. And then you're going to be good to go for the whole summer and enjoy a wonderful season that's coming upon us. And when we talk about fires, we have to make sure that we're burning within the bylaw. So we're going to want to get a fire permit if we're going to intend on burning, and make sure that we can burn within the parameters of the bylaw.
Yes, and that's very interesting because I had looked into that before. Our backyard goes fairly deep, but I discovered that I'm not allowed to burn anything in my backyard other than from my barbecue, just because I don't have the right distance away from my house, and there's not enough distance between our house and our neighbors' homes.
Exactly. And that is a common issue with a lot of people that have large yards and think that maybe they can burn. You have to be within 15 meters of all obstacles, being fences, trees, and the house itself. And a lot of the urban properties in Uxbridge and in Scugog don't have that space. And at this time of year, it's really important because we are heading into grass fire season. We've already had a grass fire in Uxbridge this year. And it's because of all the old dead grass that's lying around from last year is sitting there and it's ready to burn. We get high winds at this time of year, and it can be quite costly if one does occur, especially if you're not burning within the bylaw.
Now, Colin, if you have one of those chimeneas or those small little bowls, do you need a permit for those?
Check with the bylaw. In Uxbridge, the bylaw states that chimeneas are not allowed, but there has been talk about that being removed from the bylaw. At this point, they are prohibited in urban Uxbridge.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, I hope that ends up being changed because to me they feel very safe. But hey, I'm not a firefighter, so I'm going to go with what you guys for sure recommend. You know what? We'll have to have you on the show at some point where you can show us how to put out a fire that's gotten out of control in the home and out in your yard. I think that could be a fun hands-on experience. Are you game? I'm putting you on the spot.
Absolutely, I'm game. We actually have a fire extinguisher simulator that I'd love to bust out too, so we can get that going and have some fun with it for sure.
Okay, I'm in.
All right.
Colin,
Great.
as always, it was really nice to have you on the show. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
Illness doesn't have to be a life sentence. Join me each week on Health 180 with Carrie and Fenn as we talk with doctors and other experts about how to reset your life after an illness. Learn health and wellness tips, patient stories, advice, and solutions from professionals on how to be the best you. Together we are stronger. That's Health 180 with Carrie and Fenn right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So with me now on the show is Elizabeth Labelle from Durham Humane Society, and she has a couple of adorable furry friends that are up for adoption. Elizabeth, tell us about these two.
Yeah, so you'll see them coming in and out of the picture because they're very active. This little black and white boy here, this is Loki. And then we have a little brown tabby who's coming up on my other side. And his name is Milo. He's a little bit older, but they're really lovely boys. They're very active. Loki is about 2 to 3 years old, whereas Milo's about 4 to 5. So you've got a little bit of that older brother situation going on. See, Milo's climbing on top of the camera right now. It's so funny.
Okay, so they used to live in the same home then?
So they didn't actually, but here at the shelter, if we do see some of our cats doing well, we do our best to see if we can free roam them in one of our big, large rooms that we have for free roaming cats. So free roaming just means that they have access to a larger space where multiple cats will be housed and living during their time at the shelter. And they have all of the nice necessities of the food and the water and tons of litter boxes. But they also have lots of toys. They have climbing towers, and it's rooms that are designed to be good for multiple cats. So we get to see how they interact with other cats. We get to see if they play nice, or maybe if they're more territorial cats who would do better in homes where they're independent living. And then we have some cats that don't do well with other cats, and they are more suited to having entirely their own space. So we make sure that we accommodate every need of every animal that comes through the shelter.
Okay, so with these two, I guess they would do well in a home then with potentially other cats, maybe even other dogs.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. They actually, so Loki, our black and white cat, he actually came from a home with multiple other cats. Same with Milo, but their siblings have already been adopted. So we kind of had an idea that they would do well with other animals. We just were able to pair them together, and now they're doing great together here.
Okay, nice. Now, I understand kitten season is around the corner. So I guess a lot of cats, this is the time of season where they're giving birth, right?
Absolutely. So kitten season generally starts around the beginning of March. Now that's an approximation. Sometimes it starts end of February, sometimes it's more mid-March, but it's when more female cats, and they're called queens, when they go into labor and start getting pregnant and things like that. It generally takes about 50 to 60 days, at the most 70, for a cat to give birth. So about 2.5 months for a cat to go through their entire pregnancy. And they can often have litters between 2 to 8 kittens, depending on how big of a litter they have. And cats can actually, one of the cool things about female cats is they can actually become pregnant by multiple male cats. So that's why you'll see different looking kittens in each litter. So if you have a litter of kittens that has 2 black kittens, an orange, a little white one, it's probably because they mated with multiple male cats prior to their pregnancy being full term.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that's not the same for humans.
Yes, I have moms that they are happy just having one.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right. So if anyone is looking for a kitten, then the best opportunity would be this time of year. So to keep an eye on your website.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do adopt them out as singletons. So I know a lot of people are always concerned that they have to adopt two. That's not the case. So we are happy to chat with people about all of the options. You trying to get in my treats? There are lots of options out there for adopting kittens. So please reach out because we want to have that conversation. We want to look at matching you with the perfect kitten.
Oh, awesome. All right. So do you have any kittens in there as of yet?
We do, and we do have some moms that are currently in foster right now that are either just currently have had their babies recently, or they are going to be going into labor soon.
Okay, beautiful. So keep an eye on that website. Elizabeth, thank you so much. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
We can be hurt. We can be bruised. We can be broken. Slowed down, confused, and even numbed. But we can't be defeated. We're built on a foundation that's strong. Our mission, unwavering. And together we'll beat as one.
Hi, I'm Constable Darrell Rice, Durham Regional Police Service. Tune into Rogers Cable 10 to watch me on Seniors Talk with DRPS, where we'll talk about all kinds of amazing information and community programs for you, our seniors in Durham Region.
Hi, I'm Sean Lackey, and this is Sold with Sean Lackey. You should check us out if you want to find out what's going on in the world of real estate. We'll have all sorts of guests to keep you in the loop on what's going on in this wonderful world.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. So that is another wrap. I definitely recommend attending that Whitby Chamber of Commerce event. You know, we all can face mental health challenges, so why not gain some tools and some inspiration from both Kimberly Black and Rob Tardick. So you can check out the Whitby Chamber of Commerce, and if you want to be on the show, definitely send us an email, uxbridgescugoglife@rci.rogers.com, and guess what? We'll be back with more next week. So make sure you tune in. Have a great rest of your day.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
The world's most famous Canadian, Grey Owl, just back from a triumphant British tour, is to be a reluctant guest at a gathering of First Nations.
Archie, you may not realize this, but right now you are the most famous Red Indian in the world. These are your people. You have to be there. Come on, Harold, let's go.
Sure, I'm sure. His name is Archie Bellini, and if he's a Red Indian, I'm the king of China.
It is an honor to meet the man called Grey Owl, who has brought much respect for our people.
Imposter, rascal.